my light's just getting brighter. It's kind of dark back here, but this is the squalane and copper peptide rapid plumping serum. I can't really tell how much I have. Oh, there we go. There's the little opening. Oh, I got over half a bottle still. Ooh, look at it, it's blue. Isn't that cool? I have a blue face. I'm gonna be a Smurf. Any of y'all watch Smurfs when you were a kid? I loved that show. I wanted to be Smurfette. Like, that's weird. I wanted to be like a little blue creature. But it's true. And I liked Painter, and I said, he'd be a cool boyfriend. He seemed fun, creative, nice. Painter Smurf. Do our kids have any version of Smurf? You know how Smurfs, you know how they do like reboots of shows? I wonder if there's a Smurfs. I haven't seen any. Cora watches mostly Netflix stuff and Disney, but I don't think I've seen Smurfs. Okay. So, funny story to start the day. I was, this morning, I walked into our bedroom and I was like, my husband was in the bathroom, like about to take a shower. And I was like, what is that smell? It's like nauseating. I was trying to figure out, I was like, it smells like burnt something. I was like, what the hell? And I'm like looking around, looking down at like, you know how randomly you'll see these like stories about how people's like cell phones or their like cell phone wires explode. Because I smell like burning, and I'm like, here's my Tatcha Dewy Skin Moisturizer. So I'm all like sniffing around, pulling out every wire like in the room. And I'm like, is it a light bulb burning? Because it smelled like burning, but it also smelled like some sort of food, and I couldn't place my finger on it. I'm like, burning food, what the hell? I look in the trash can, I tied it, like we have little trash cans with the little trash bags. So I just tied that up. I smelled it, I didn't think it was that, but I brought it downstairs anyway. I asked him, I'm like, you smelling? He's like, no. He's like, I mean, maybe like your body wash. And I'm like, my body wash it's vanilla and coconut. I'm like, it doesn't smell like that to me. He's like, oh, no, it all smells the same. You know, like I have all different body washes and soaps, you know, like all that. He's like, oh, no, it all smells the same to me. So I'm going to put this on my hands. This is Jurlique. I freaking love this stuff. I don't know if I've used this on my face yet because I always use the Tatcha, but I might try it because it's less thick. I got 3 of these at Anthropology when they were on sale one year, like last year. Oh my God, they're so amazing. And it smells like roses, like straight up roses, not like that fake flowery, like you know, the artificial rose smell. Ugh. And I also have, rose is like one of my favorite scents, Jo Malone's Red Roses. Oh my gosh, that smells really good. And then my friend, probably won't get Jo Malone because I get this from my friend now. And it's straight rose. It's jojoba oil and rose oil. That's it. And you can find her on Instagram, actually. Her name is Ashley's Light on there. She's amazing. She just moved to Hawaii. She's awesome. She also creates candles. I'll show you real quick. Let me promote my girl. Hold on. Gave me these 2 candles. Look, this is my favorite. This is, she's a guess. This is a U candle. Has 1111, which is my lucky number. 11 and 33. And in this light, I begin again. And it has, she makes these herself, has them made herself, whatever. It's a combination kind of. There's a hair stuck to it. And puts crystals in them. So that's rose quartz. Rose scented. Amazing. I haven't even lit them because I never want to. They're amazing. This one is I Am Love. I forget what scent this is. It doesn't say. I'm the worst at scents, let me tell you. Is it rose too? I feel like, hold on. No, it smells different. Oh, it is rose petals. Why is it, maybe because it's, oh, This is calla lily. Yeah, I was like thinking, I'm like, this smells more like gardenia or something. Calla lily. It smells like, it really does smell similar to gardenia, which I love too. I was thinking rose because the pink, but how beautiful is that? I don't know if you can tell it. It's like, it's got like an iridescent sheen to it. And this one is rose gold. It's more on the like coppery rose gold side, but I am love. So yeah, go check her out on Instagram and say, Christy sent you. And then she has these rose oils. She has, she might have another scent too, but oh my God, I love these. I got one for my friend Danielle because she doesn't do perfume, but she was saying she likes good smelling things. So I was like, well, see if you like this. I'm gonna put this on. Oh, it's so good. So good. Okay, anyway, total side tangent squirrel moment, but that's okay. So, love this stuff. Oh, hydrates, restores. I thought it said hyaluronic acid. I was like, ooh, is it in there? But actually, I want to see what's in here real quick. Jurlique rose extract and botanical hyaluronic acid. That's weird because it didn't. It's very tiny writing. I didn't see that word, but I thought hydrates because of the reflection on it. It's like metallic. I thought it said hyaluron. Like I didn't see the bloop on the D. So I thought it was starting to say hyaluronic, but it does actually have that in here. That's even better. I wonder if they still sell this. I should order more. This stuff is amazing. I can look at there's the consistency. It's a little pink and it smells like a dream. And it just feels so buttery soft. So buttery soft. Oh, let's see if I can, I really need to do I always try to open it after my hands. This one is so hard to open. It's Shiseido, my eye cream. I guess it's not happening today because I just can't open it. Okay, put everything back here. I do have, I'm going to try again with my lippy. I'm going to start with my lippy today because I want to, I'm like a hot mess express. Can I tell you that? I'm just going to do this lip liner and the lip stick I got yesterday. Hello, good morning. We're going to have to sharpen. Cora's home sick today. We literally got almost to her school and she's like, she didn't throw up, but she was like, I feel really nauseous. And I was like, that's fun. That's fun. We just drove 25 minutes. Like, you couldn't have gotten sick 25 minutes ago. Just kidding. But I think she'll be okay. It seems like one of those things that it's not that bad and it'll all go away. So I'm using a pinker tone because yesterday I used this lipstick without that first and it kind of washed me out. Or it did wash me out. So we're going to do pink under it and see how it looks because this is pinker than I remember. Ooh. I don't typically like cool tone pinks. This is, I don't know. This is kind of, I'd say almost a neutral pink. Yeah, I think she's not running a fever. You know, these things happen. She's had it at school where she gets a stomach ache and she's gone to the nurse and it's fine like 20 minutes later. I'm not really worried about it unless she gets a fever or, yeah, I just hope it's not an ongoing, but usually even if it's a stomach bug, the most common ones are like a day or two. So she has her recital this weekend. That's what I'm worried about. All right, so here is this. We're going to try this again, Marie, today. This with this underneath it. So this is called Lips by Nude Envy, E-N-V-I-E. And, oh. I don't think that's the right, I don't think that's the right pink under it. I don't know. I feel like this has to work with something. So we'll keep trying. Every day we're going to try a new lip thing with it, but it's okay. I'm not into pinks and it's still pulling too pink for me. So let's do the rest of my face. How is your morning? How's the rest of your day there, Marie? We'll do my dermatology. Yes, I ordered online. This, I don't think they have a store, Nude Envy. I don't know if they sell it in stores. Lippies. I usually get sets in like one or two of the colors. Like these are both separate, but I found these colors through like a chubby stick set. Drinking that coffee, girl. Here's your sugar. All right, so dermatology. Oh, let me run. You can stare at my backdrop while I get my brush real quick. Hold on. I'm coming. Don't worry. I washed all my brushes, as you saw, Marie. And they are dry. Are they dry? I like how I'm going like that. Like, why am I feeling it with my nose? I don't know. But yes, it's dry. So the dermatology, start with that. This is the universe. I hate when I get these notifications and then I try to hit it and it falls. Okay, so this is universal. Like, it supposedly blends on everyone's skin. See how it looks like a color, but then when you put it on, it like adapts to your skin tone. So this became like viral on TikTok, of course. It's very minimal coverage, but I like minimal coverage. I like it to look dewy. I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, that's all I do. I used to do, like I said, when I had more time, I would sometimes do the shampoo and the oil. And then I was like, this is such a waste. Like, it gets just as clean when I have the right, like, cleaning part, you know? And I don't know. It didn't seem like a big deal to have the oil to, like, hydrate the brush like people talk about. If you care about that, go for it. I'm going to put a second layer on just so you can see the coverage, right? Like, you can still see. I mean, I like you to be able to see my skin pop through a little. I just kind of like it to be overall a little more, not blurred, but you know what I mean. So we're going to do one more. It's such a thin formula. It's not the best with the brush, so I'm just going to use my finger. But we'll do this side so we can see if there's a difference with two. You know, sometimes when you do 2 layers of like something thin, like a tinted moisturizer, it's not that different. So we'll see. Is it worth it? Here's the question. Is it worth it to do? Don't forget that neck. Moisturize that neck. Is it worth it to do? I'm gonna put under my eye too. I was gonna put I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Guys, I'm like, seriously, hold on. I'm gonna get my mirror. I had this on top of my mirror. I'm telling you, I keep getting these notifications. And then I go to turn it off and this is not very stable, obviously. Hold on. And I keep getting texts and everything. I got a text that was from my, I have a dentist appointment coming up. Got a new dentist that's like literally on my same street, like the main road that's right outside my side street. All right, so let's see. Look up close here. That's one layer. So see, it gives it a nice dewy sheen. My thing is like my skin's so dry, I need some dew at least. And I like my freckles to still come through, but I like it to be just kind of blended. And now it's hard for me to see this side. I don't know why. It's harder for me to see. Maybe you guys can look. Is there a difference in coverage? Maybe very minimal. All right, I'm gonna look under here. I can see better in the actual mirror, like the lighting just looks different. I would say, actually I can see difference. In the mirror, yeah, I like to, you see there, yeah, Frugalista, totally. I think there, it's like subtle, it's still not, it's not even medium, but I would say this is like barely light coverage and this is actual light coverage. So And my friend said she always uses too. One is darker. Yeah, it's darker. And on the mirror part, I'm going to put a little more. On the mirror part, you can actually see they're like the freckles, even they're there, but they're just like more blurred. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see the forehead. Yeah, same thing. Like it's cool because it just, you still see, I don't know. I like freckles. I think they're fun. I know they're like not good because it's like sun damage, a lot of it. But it's there and I like it. I don't know. I feel like it gives face a little depth and character and kind of youthful, you know? I'm going to be 43 this month. Well, in April. So as I said, all right, I'll let that sit in. As I said, this weekend is Cora's. She has her dress rehearsal Friday night. So she's in, if you guys don't know, I know some of you follow me, so you know, but if you don't, she's in a ballet where they're working with professional ballerinas. Like the main character, like Elsa is, freckles aren't some damn, well, some are, right? I mean, I was born with some, but I don't know. It's what my dermatologist said in Virginia, that there's some that are look like freckles, but they're really like sunspots, sun damage. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I just have freckles. So I'm gonna let that set. And yeah, so Elsa is a professional dancer. I don't know the other characters, the ones you're born with. Yeah. Yep, I wasn't sunning in heaven before I came down. Maybe I was, though. Maybe I was. I do love the sun. It's bad because I have, like, you know, this is my skin color. It's close. I always wear SPF, but I am outside a lot. Even like in the car waiting for Cora, I can feel the sun. Even in the winter, if it's sunny out, angel kisses. Yeah, that's what my mama always said. So guys, you know what it is? I'm getting my lady friend. Do you get clumsy? I'm always kind of clumsy, right? That's just my personality, or me. But before my lady friend comes, I did it again. Like, it's crazy. I'll just use this now. Before she comes, I get extra clumsy. Do any of you get that? It's crazy. Oh, by the way, check out my new website. I have a website call today with my website lady. We've had so many calls this last month. But if you go to ChristyJade.com, you can see my new website. I have some changes I'm asking her to make. And there's a button that doesn't work on there somewhere, but you could get the general idea if you look. It's fun. All right, there we go. I'm never complete without some concealer. I've got the dark circles. It's that thin, light ivory skin that shows the dark circles. I have allergies on top of that, which apparently makes it worse. I'm gonna put my hair up real quick like Pebbles. I'm gonna do a Pebbles pony because I feel like it, because I can. I just want my hair out of my face. All right, next we'll do my new Nude Envy. Oh, can we do a little Jesus? Let's do a little Jesus first. I feel like Jesus is calling. Jesus is calling! It's what, the 29th? 29th? I think so. Okay. Stop trying to work things out before their times have come. Oh, story of my life. Can I get a thumbs up if you try to work things out, figure things out, do things before it's time, before it's your actual timeline? Accept the limitations of living one day at a time. It's hard. It's hard. When something comes to your attention, ask me whether or not it's part of today's agenda. It's a good plan. I mean, I kind of do that. Every morning I'm like, okay, God, guide me to do what I'm supposed to do today. Please let me know what you want to do on my path, even though then I kind of forget about that sometimes and write a 9,000 to-do list. I started using, there's an alarm, and if I click it to open it so it stops, I'll lose you guys. So I keep just kind of snoozing it. So it's going to keep coming back every like 5 minutes. Anyway, what do you use for your to-do list? Do you have like an online? Oh, thank you. With my hair up? Do you have an online, like a digital to-do list or a paper one? I found To Do. It's like TEUX, To Do. They have an app. I did it on my computer yesterday. I heard the app's kind of glitchy. But I like it because it's set up like a calendar, and so it has almost like Trello or something like that, where you create these little blocks of to-dos and you can move them around. There might be something better out there, but I'm always trying to find the perfect to-do list that I have not found online. I have my own on paper because I can never find what I want online. And I created my own planner pad that I sell, but I'm trying to go digital with it just because it's annoying carrying paper around all the time to me. Okay, back to Jesus. Come on, Jesus is like, hello, we were talking. Okay. If it is not on today's agenda, if you get the message from God, it's not, release it into my care and go about today's duties. When you follow this practice, there will be a beautiful simplicity about your life. Can you imagine actually like letting it all go? Be nice. A time for everything and everything in its time. A time for everything and everything in its time. And when I do remember that, I do feel peace and I do feel calm. But as the human brain and as a go-getter, go, Christy, go, gadget Christy, I've been my whole life, it's so hard to undo that wiring, you know? A life lived close to me is not complicated or cluttered. Well, God ain't in this room, damn. This room is cluttered. I got books, I got notebooks on the floor over there. My makeup is a little less decluttered. But I know he's also talking about your mind being cluttered, right? Like when you're close to God, it's just clear and simple. If you really are doing it right, which is very hard. I mean, I think there's a small percentage of people who actually get there in their lives where it's so like at peace and like God's plan, like all day, every day. It's very hard to live that way, but I try. I'm going to keep trying. I'm not giving up. I'm a Taurus. Any Tauruses out there? I'm an Aries Taurus, actually. All right. A life lived close to me is not complicated or cluttered. When your focus is on my presence, many things that once troubled you lose their power over you. I'm going to keep going these. Though the world around you is messy and confusing, remember that I have overcome the world. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. So essentially it's up to us to have peace. Do you know that? It's up to us to not to have peace, but it's up to us to turn to God, and therein we will have peace, right? Like if we do it consistently, always. It's kind of hard, right? All right. Nude envy, cheeky. But yeah, any comments on the Lord? So this is called Peachy by Nude Envy with an IE. I just love cream as I get older because, hey, let's admit it, we got like, my skin's drier, got some wrinkles, right? All the powder just, I feel like, exaggerates any of that. You know, they're doing that little cute little thing now. That's the trend where you bring that blush all the way to the top. I guess it looks like if the sun burnt ya. Look, I got sunburn. I'm so cute and rich. I'm traveling the world. Okay. Eyeshadow. We're gonna try some more Makeup Revolution today. We're testing out this palette, see if I want to keep it. I'm gonna do it with my finger because I'm too lazy to go get my thing. And let's try this. That feels kind of chalky. Let's see though. It's okay. It's all right. What's your favorite color eyeshadow, Marie? To wear yourself? Do you just wear neutral? Do you wear eyeshadow? My mom always loved like mauves and purpley colors. And I've always loved more neutral, but like warmer neutral. The browns, yeah, me too. I do love, especially in the fall, I am a sucker for like burgundy wine like that, especially with my green eyes. It can help pop them. All right, so this, it's actually not too bad. I wish I wasn't as lazy as I'm feeling right now. Because also I know my alarm's going to go off, and if I'm not in the room and it goes off, that's going to be annoying to you guys. It'll like probably cut off. All right, we're going to do this little sparkly color. It's more of a shimmer on top. Mossy greens. Oh yes, I do love that too, Marie. Love mossy greens. My favorite greens, hold on, which I do not care about Star Wars or Mandalorian. Cora loved this, so she thought it was great, but I have some, it has greens and browns in there that I like. This one's pretty. This one is good for like the outer edge. But this is pretty good. Trying to think what I have to do to, you know what? Oh shoot, I still haven't gotten, I gotta order. Let's see if this works at all. We'll try it. I need to use this. I'm using a liquid liner. I feel like I have a couple calls today. Tonight, if Cora's feeling better, oops, if she's feeling better, we'll be going to her dance class. She has 2 dance classes. So tonight is she has like and she has gymnastics, but her one dance class is ending this weekend after the recital. Use pencil liners. I like them for the bottom. The top I've always loved liquid, but I don't know. I might start messing around with some pencils. But so she has acro tonight, which is just like an acro dance. The recital's not until the middle of June, like after her school's over. So that's the one I kind of regret doing. She really, but I didn't know if she'd like the ballet, so we're kind of doing both. She ended up liking the ballet more. The ballet was only from January until April. Here's my Better Than Sex. That sucks now. It's all dried out. I need to get a new liner and mascara. But she's loving the gymnastics, so we'll I guess stick with that. I didn't write the lady. I have to write her today. The manager or whatever. To make sure she thinks that the coach is gonna be good enough. Good enough. I mean, I doubt they'd hire her if they didn't think she's good enough, but the fact she recommended the other guy, I'm hoping was more for my comfort. Yeah, good draw on your face. I have been doing liquid liner since I'm 14 years old, though. So it's you know, it's like second nature, I guess, to me. Second nature, why can't I think of words today? I'm not wording. So liquid liner versus pencil, y'all. Put in the comments what you prefer, liquid or pencil liner. I love liquid. I like that, like, real, it just feels easier to me too. Like, I feel like I smudge almost more with the pencil on the top. So, I'll do some pencil on the bottom for kicks to show you. I put it in the waterline though, and I know a lot of people don't like to do that. I did that growing up because I hated how big my eyes were. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So, they always said in the magazines, don't put liner in your waterline because it will make your eyes look smaller. And I was like, oh, good, because there was a boy I liked who I later did. It's so funny because I liked him, you know, whatever. I was like a sophomore. No, it was 9th grade. Brand new school. I had been in a Catholic school with all the same boys. Basically the first boy I saw in the school who was funny. I'm big on funny, right? So I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And he's like Italian looking and loud and whatever, popular funny guy. So I was like, oh my God. So I like had a crush on him. This is actually a funny story. My best friend at the time, I mean, we're still friends, but she lives far away and we don't talk as often like we used to. But my best friend at the time, she was a jackass. And we were sitting in yearbook class on, yeah. Now it's not in at all, I don't think, but I never cared if it was in or not. She took a permanent marker. This is Scandalized by Rimmel, by the way, which stays on the waterline better than 24/7 by Urban Decay. That used to be really popular. I don't know if it still is, but anyway, it does close off the eye. But it also, like if I'm out somewhere, I always get compliments on my eye color when I have this on outside. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but it pops the eyes because it's like contrast against it, you know? It makes them look kind of lighter than they are. So anyway, so she wrote with the Sharpie. His name is Josh, and she wrote, "I love Josh" in big Sharpie on my backpack. Like I don't know, the second week of freaking school. I had to wear it. I'm walking around with "I love Josh" on my back, and she's like, "You could scribble it." I'm like, then it's gonna look so messy. Like I still am like that. I do not like messes. And I was like, there's no way. So then I was like, well, I'll just draw something over it later. But I also embarrassed that easily. So I kind of just didn't care. And I was at lunch that day, and he comes up to me. I had never spoken to him. And he goes, "Is that about me?" And I looked at him and just walked away. I was like, I wasn't ready for that. The next day, or no, it was later that day, because I ended up like coloring something over it, like a butterfly or something, I don't know. So later that day, I remember I was walking to English class, and I hear, "Hey, hey," and I'm like, and I knew I saw him before that class, because I'm a stalker. No, because, you know, like, "Oh, so cute, I gotta let me brush my hair before English," you know. And I see him, and he's like, "Hey," what? No, I don't. I heard him, "Hey," and I didn't even think it was me. He's like, "Hey," and he didn't know my name because I was new. He was a year older than me. I was new, and you know, we weren't friends or anything. He didn't know my name, and he's like, "Hey, hey," and he came up and he was like, "What's your name?" And in my panic, because I, again, was not prepared, I go, because I renamed myself Bobby with an I in high school. The first day of school, nobody knew me there. I was new. I was coming from private school. Didn't know. I knew like one girl and my brother or whatever, his friends. But the first day of school, the teacher goes, "If you have a nickname, let me know." Da, da, da. Like mine would be Christy instead of Christina. But no, I wanted to rename myself, and I was literally in the yearbook as Bobby. So the first day, he's like, "Okay." Christy said my last name, and I said, "Yeah, Bobby." And he's like, "Bobby?" And I said, "Yeah, Bobby." He goes, "Bobby is your name." And I said, "Yeah, Bobby with an I." It just came out. I didn't even think about it beforehand. It was so weird. That's me for you. Very strange. I'm like, "Bobby with an I." So everyone started calling me Bobby. So anyway, he came up and he goes, "Hey, are you Christy?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "What's your name?" I'm trying to remember. It's so long ago. And I was like, Bobby with an I. And I just walk away. Like, what? Here's this guy I have this like crush on. I'm really crushed, just thought he's cute, whatever. And he's trying to talk to me, and I'm like almost like, "What are you doing talking to me?" Right? Like that's how it probably came off. It was so weird. And he was like, "All right," and walked away. And he would like look at me, and I'd look at him before class stuff, whatever. Anyway, we ended up like, we hung out with some mutual people. We kind of say hi here and there, but not, you know, it was whatever. Then we had a class together, and we started talking. We're both goofy and loud class clowns. So then we started getting in trouble all the time. Then we started talking more because we'd be in detention together. And we ended up being friends. And when we became friends, I'm like, I don't like him. Like, he's fine, but like not like that, you know? He's like fine for a friend, but I wasn't like digging him in that way anymore. So, and we even studied and stuff together once in a while or so. I don't know. He came, I remember him coming over and studying with me and my friend. But the funny part is, so fast forward, so we were like friends, hung out with the same people, did partied together, whatever. Fast forward when I'm 20, gosh, how old was I? 26, something. He and I kept in touch here and there. Not really, you know. We were cool, but, you know, not like hanging out or anything all the time. And somehow, I don't remember if I got him an interview or my friend did, but one of us got, I worked at in television production. And he got an interview. He starts working like in my same building. It was both production companies. And so we were working together. So we started going to lunch together, hanging out, you know, not every day, but, you know, we were like friends again, kind of whatever. And one weekend we hang out, and this is so freaking, it's like bad, but funny. We were drinking the juice and partying. And he was like, hey, come back to my rooftop. I'm going to have people over after. Had been at a club. So the weekend before, I had kissed his roommate. It was very cute. This guy named Matt. No idea. Don't know his last name. Don't remember. Like, never, like, paid attention. It was one of those just whatever. 20 or 20-something things to do. So I had kissed his roommate the week before. We're all like on the rooftop. People go downstairs. It's just me and Josh at this point, and we're out, and it's like a starry night. I think it was summertime. You know, it's very like nice and cool, and we were just hanging out, and he goes in to kiss me. And in a moment, I was like, you know what? This is your 14-year-old inner child's dream. Just do it. Like, it was really, it's horrible. But so we kind of made out a little bit, whatever. And then, so my brother hung out with similar, like we had a lot of mutual friends in high school and stuff. And he was like good friends with my brother. That's relevant in a second here. So we're done after, and he goes, so what are we gonna do? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what are we gonna do? I was like, I think we're done. I think we're done here. I think the night's over. I'm going home. And he was like, no, like, what are we gonna tell your brother? And I was like, we're not gonna tell him anything. He's like, he'll catch on though eventually. I'm like, no, how would he know about this? And he's like, we're gonna be hanging out, right? And I was like, no. Which, like, looking back, it's so funny because, you know, you get mad at like dudes for being dudes, and meanwhile I'm like, no, this was nothing. I was like, this is like a one night. What do you think, we're gonna date? And I'm like, such an ass. But he was an ass too. He was like, I'm telling you, you wouldn't feel bad for this guy if you know him. He's actually relatively famous. He's a comedian. You remember this story? You're like, oh, memories. Of course I told the story because it's hilarious. It's like crazy. And I like look back on him like, God, I was an ass. But he's a cocky whatever. He's fine. He didn't lose sleep over it, I'm sure. He probably did a little because, you know, those people, they hate rejection, or like they always get what they want, that type of thing. He was fine. He had plenty of girls and experiences, and I'm sure I was not like on his must conquer list. So I was like, yeah, no. And he was like, and he was acting kind of like pissed off. He was like, all right, fine. What, really? Really? We're not going to like hang out at all? And I was like, no, I'm not interested. And he said to me, you like loved, that arrogance, you like loved me in high school. Weren't you like in love with me? And I was like, okay, in love's very big word. I think I knew for 2 minutes, saw you for 2 minutes before. I said, and that was 1994, honey. We're in like 2006. Get a hold of yourself. I said, I don't like you like that. And he was like, well, you just excuse me. I said, that inner child was very pleased. Very pleased. And he was like, you're an ass, you know. But we're fine. We're friends still. And like, I've kept with him, in touch with him through the years. He lives in LA. Like I said, he is a comedian. He's like friends with Bill Burr level, like had his own Comedy Central show. I don't want to say his name because it's weird. I don't want to like go there. Privacy for him too. But he's a cool guy. Never someone I would actually date. He's a cool guy, very arrogant, very, you know, funny, but I feel like he was funnier in high school. Like he didn't try as hard. You know, I think when some people get into comedy, they feel like they have to be so crass to really get the jokes or like the shock value. And I feel like he was funnier without that. You know, sometimes he'll hit a joke and I'm like, oh, it's good. And others, it's just like, oh, it just feels like just trying too hard. Anyway, that's my Josh story. So I love him. A lot of, or self-centered. Yeah, he's definitely self-centered, but he's a good time. I actually saw him at the Improv in DC before, like right before COVID. I think that was December, right before COVID. Was the last time I went to the Improv. He came down from, he came out from LA to perform there for, oh shoot, I'm so bad with names. There was a big time comedian he opened for at the Improv. And it was great seeing him. It was great reconnecting. You know, it was really nice. So I'm not trying to like trash talk. I love him. But people like that are actually very cruel. But that get crass and yeah. And I will say, I'll give him that. He's the type, he might poke a little fun, but like, no man, I'm just kidding. And like for me, I have very thick skin. So like in our friendship, I didn't care. But yes, if you are sensitive at all, like you couldn't be friends with him. He's one of those people that will, you know, like I was dating someone at some point and he was making fun of the guy. But I mean, those things, when people compare things, or even for me, like I crack up when people make fun of me. Like I have a very jokey family, so maybe I'm just used to it, thick skin, you know, like, but it, like if someone imitates me and it's on point, I will crack up. That stuff really does kill me. They're very witty, but they can be cruel and use it to hurt others. Yes. And I had one friend that was like that, and my friends would be like, you're like the butt of her joke, but it was so funny to me, and I wasn't hurt by it, you know? And some people are, like some people are more sensitive. I was never hurt by it, and I got her humor, but I could see how other people would be like, whoa, that's a little far, you know? So anyway, that's that. But yes, that Josh story, I don't even know, that came out of nowhere. But I think he does have a good heart. I'm not going to take that away. And I'm trying to think. You know, there's an arrogance about him, and there's crassness, but he doesn't pick on people as much as some comedians do, you know? It's a subtle form of abuse. Yeah. And yes, that one friend who was like that, we're distant now. We'll say that. But that part of to me, that part didn't bother me because it truly did not, and it wasn't things that were like, let's say like she would tell a story that was kind of embarrassing. Like one night my legs were so pale and I was wearing pantyhose hoping no one would notice, right? Like who wears pantyhose? I don't know. This was like in 2010 or something, but I was like, no one will notice. And like but my legs were so pale. It was the middle of winter. And so I wore them hoping no one would notice. And I was drinking, and like she said, she would tell the story, and it's not going to be funny how I say it, but she's hilarious. But it was like, I was coming down the steps of the bar. She was going up. She's like, and I see this drunk, like, she goes, and I could see like my short skirt was short. She's like, and I could see that little pantyhose, whatever. But it was something, and I don't remember the whole story of why it was so funny, but there was something that happened with it, and her seeing that and whatever. And the story like cracked me up. But this girl, after she told this story, was like quietly to me like, well, you're the butt of the jokes tonight. Like, doesn't that bug you? And I was like crying. I'm like, not at all. Like, who cares? Like, to me, that doesn't bother me. If someone said something like I was sensitive about, like when I had big eyes, if she would have said, which she didn't pick at my soft spots, which is good. You know, some people do that, right? And then they'll be like, oh, just kidding, right? Actually, Josh did make a joke about my eyes. He didn't know I didn't like them, but I remember his joke, one of the first times we talked, he was like, can you see the whole map? And I was like, what? He was like, can you see the people on the map? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, looking for a map. And he was like, because your eyes so big, you see all the people in the map, you know, something like. And I was like, and like that kind of stung because back then I was so insecure about I hated my eyes. But most people did not know that or think I would be, because I had people that would compliment my eyes and be like, oh, they're pretty, they're big, you know, but I hated them. So, oh, thank you. I hated them growing up, hated them. I think I told that story recently. I was in college in the elevator, and a guy was just like, he was like, wow, you have big eyes. Like saying it as a comment. I did not. And I was like, and you're a jerk. That like started getting on defense. And he was like, whoa, I was giving you a compliment. Chill out. And I was like, what compliment? He's like, your eyes, they're big and pretty. I guess I didn't want to be too much. So I said big, but like, you have pretty eyes. They're like big. They stand out. And I was like, he's like, in a good way. I'm like, because I myself hated my eyes. So that actual moment with that guy in the elevator did start to shift like my acceptance. I was like, okay, random guy, I guess, you know, and friends have told me they like my eyes, but so I don't know. It took a while to accept my eyeballs, but now I do. And they're fun to do makeup on. There's like a good amount of space in there. But I would cry about my eyes when I was younger. You know, in elementary school, people are nasty. This guy, Alphonse, used to call me bug eyes. And that is not a compliment. So thanks, Alphonse, wherever you are. You're a jerk. Just kidding. I mean, I forgive him. And I turn to God. Anyway, so I am going to get ready. I have a call at 10 o'clock, which is probably approaching. I don't know. I have no clock in here. I should have a clock in here. I know we totally went on side tangent, but sometimes it's fun to just storytell and reminisce. You know, those are days long gone of making out with old crushes on a rooftop. You didn't know how to say, yeah, because instead of saying pretty eyes, it's like, you have big eyes. And his tone was nice, you know, so I did believe that's what he meant when he said it after, but the words, it wasn't like, yeah, but I guess he felt like he didn't want to come on too strong, he said, I think, 9:18, okay. Well, I'm going to clean up my clutter in this room, get ready for my call, and enjoy your coffee if it's not done yet. I'm going to put up my declutter video. I don't think I put up my declutter video from yesterday. I've been really sucking with the declutter videos, and I'm just not going to beat myself up for it, right? We can't do all the things, people. Can't do all the things. So have a blessed day. Remember, when you turn to God, you find peace. And also, that's it. That's all I got. All right. Smooches, deuces, and love. Great chat. Thank you. Good to see you, Marie. I like making little hearts and being cheesy at the end with my big eyes.